Sorry about that. I think the total, like the whole internet here just went out for a few minutes, and I was on the 4G or 2.4 gigahertz network. And I'm kind of far away from the router, so I switched it to 5G. So we'll see if it makes any difference. But yeah, like nothing. My internet wasn't working at all here, so. Um, So, I'm not sure if you saw the first thing I unboxed is not related to the 3D printer, it's just the solenoid valve for the espresso machine that I'm repairing. It costs like $6 from eBay. At first, I'm just going to try replacing this blue part, or purple. I'm colorblind, so I can't really tell. And see if that fixes the current valve that I have. Otherwise, you know, I'll try to use this metal part, even though the connection here at the top is a little different. Anyway, that's not really related to the printer. So, what I have, make sure you can see this stuff. So I ordered the printer on Wednesday, and it came today. So that was super fast shipping it came from Cincinnati, Ohio, so just like 2 days. And I ordered some stuff from Amazon at the same time, basically some 3D printing filament. I got PLA, or some PLA Plus. There's like way too many different kinds of filament, but PLA seems pretty common. It's kind of, I think it's made from some plant, sugarcane or something. So it's kind of eco, or at least you can feel like it's eco. And I got some other things to try to. Everybody recommended doing a MOSFET power upgrade on the printer. Basically, there's a heated bed, which, you know, makes the plastic adhere, not shrink, I think. And it draws too much power for the way that the current electronics are designed, so everybody recommends moving that heating to a separate MOSFET. So I ordered one of those. Let's see what we got in here first. So I got two 1 kg rolls of filament, 1.75 millimeters. I got black and I got white because I figured those are probably the most basic common colors I could use for really anything. So here's the white reel. It's got nothing's working again. Okay, here we go. So this is a white reel. This is 1.75 millimeter. It says it's cool white. They had a cool white and a warm white. And it seemed like also, so this brand is eSun. A lot of people have recommended this, and it's PLA Plus. So it's supposed to be a little bit stronger than normal PLA, and you have to extrude at a slightly higher temperature also. But that also means that it melts or starts to get weak at a higher temperature as well, which is kind of what I want, because there's a couple car replacement knobs that I'm planning on making. Uday, I don't think you can make gray out of black and white, because you can basically do one at a time. Like there's no way to melt or merge them together at the same time, although, you know, that sounds kind of feasible. But there are printers that are tend to be more expensive, or add-ons that you can buy or make for a lot of the cheaper ones that will allow you to do multiple extrusions at once, multiple filament types or colors, but you're still kind of limited. You know, I've seen like yeah, I've seen 4 for the Prusa kit, but not a lot more than that. And I think even then, you know, like switching is kind of, it's a bit of a process. It has to kind of retract the one color and then put in the other color and kind of clean the nozzle. So you know, and you kind of have to. I don't really think you can blend them very well. It's kind of a hard break. Anyway, so it's vacuum sealed. It's got the silicate, the moisture absorbing packets in here that you get in your shoe boxes. It seems like this stuff, you know, if you let it get wet or if it's old, it won't work so well. It can clog up your printer. So we'll see. These were about $22 or $23 a piece. I also got, this should be our MOSFET, yeah. Our MOSFET board. This is just a simple little kind of breakout power board where we kind of have the mains coming in. Well, actually, how's this work? DC. Okay. All right, so you have the DC in. So this is 12 volts coming in from what it looks like from the power supply, and then this switches it going out to the heated bed. So like you have a control signal coming in which switches the power and sends it out to the bed, and it's just kind of redirecting through this separate board instead of going through the weaker components on the main board. Oh, hold on, we have a phone call coming in. Beneath. Hello? Yeah. No. To you? No. I feel like if it was a technical problem, you'd probably call me, so I'll keep on saying that. Okay, sorry, that was just a work phone call. You know, work from home. You kind of gotta jump on it when it comes up. So there's my filament. now the actual good stuff, the printer. You still here? Okay, so yeah, it's a nice box. It's got these nice plastic straps. So the whole thing seems to be wrapped in a plastic bag, and I got there's an installation kind of setup build guide sitting right on top. Very nice. Let's get this out of here. Could just cut the bag, but cool. So it looks like, well, I don't quite know what the. This looks like the top's got the paper on it. And instructions. This one's at the bottom. It's got a nice kind of styrofoam casing around it. And a lot of where's this tape start? All put together. I'm taking off the styrofoam kind of sides here. Don't have enough space on that table here. It's well packaged. It's just that, you know, it's kind of got the tape around and underneath the bottom or the top, whatever side that's supposed to be. I think this is fine because everything's sitting on this styrofoam square in the bottom. instruction pamphlet's pretty nice. It's in color. It's actually kind of like thicker stock than just a normal piece of printer paper. Kind of got a little glossy. It's pretty nice instructions. It's pretty relatively straightforward too. And then printer itself, let's see. So I think this this section here, this is the part that stands up. So you know, this is the bottom and this is the top that sticks up. This thing here is the kind of the whole carriage that moves up and down, and here is the print head with the extruder which can move side to side, and then your bed is, well, once we open it up, your bed is going to be going back and forth on the table. So okay, it comes with the wires here in these nice, what do you even call them? With these cable holders. And we've got kind of a, not shrink wrap, but the bundles up here, they're kind of wrapped in a, I don't know what it is. It's like some sort of, almost like a cloth material. It's kind of like a snap bracelet. It's kind of just wrapped around the wires. I think of what I should do next. Maybe I should read the instructions. Please take an inventory of the package contents to ensure you have all the items listed. Okay, we have the tower assembly with the extruder. I'm supposed to have a base assembly, a power supply, LCD display, spool holder, and filament stand. Well, let's just separate this up if we can, although it's kind of hooked together with the wire, so. Right, so there's this big fat zip tie which is holding the I think it's the x-axis, just kind of in place, and we've got what's upside down. Okay, so over here on the side is the power supply. So this is the power supply and control unit, and the LCD, and this is where our MOSFET mod is going to go inside of eventually once we get this kind of untangled. Then underneath of that we have, this is the base. It's actually upside down. Oh, and it's actually got it has a butterfly already printed on the base. And I'm assuming that was done for, you know, testing before they send it out. I didn't know that they would do that. That's actually kind of cool. The fact that it, I assume, was working at some point. So then underneath the base, we've got a box. I bet I was supposed to just take, I bet I'm unpacking it upside down. I was probably supposed to take off, like open the bag and take the styrofoam off the top, which is now sitting on the desk. So here we've got a box full of some smaller pieces. It's got a USB cable, power cable, I don't know what this is. It's like a little it looks like a very tiny drill bit. It is a very tiny drill bit. They might put in a Dremel or something. So it's UCO 40 by 6.5. 40 what? 40. Anyway, yeah, I don't know what. It looks like it could be for cleaning the extruder nozzles, but I don't know why you need sort of like a little drill bit for that. Let's see. That's mentioned anywhere. It's a bracket, probably for the spool to sit on. Something related to that. Oh, here's the. Yeah, I think this is another part of this spool holder. Probably something like that. Comes with a little scraper here to basically spudge the piece. Spudger. To pry the piece off the build surface, because it kind of sticks to it when it's done printing. Some sort of pokey wire. We got a micro SD card, 4 GB, with a micro SD adapter. Micro SD to standard SD. Set that aside. Okay, so now I've got all the three primary pieces kind of separated. Got the base with the gantry, which moves back and forth. Power supply, control unit, and then the tower, which is going to have to hook on here to the sides. And then once everything's, well, I'm trying to think if I should, yeah, let's get it together first and then worry about any sort of mod. I don't want to read the instructions. I'm pretty sure I can figure out how it goes together. But so basically, first step, according to the instructions, first step is to remove the zip tie. Second step is to bolt or screw this power to the base. Third step is plugging in cable assembly. Actually, third through sixth steps are all plugging in cable connectors. Seventh step is attaching the spool to the top, spool holder to the top. Ninth step is plugging in the power supply. We got steps 10 through 18 are actually, you know, powering on the machine, letting it warm up, and leveling the board, and finally printing some of the included files, which I think come preloaded on the SD card. So really, the only things to actually assemble are to screw the tower to the base and then plug in the various cables. That does not seem very difficult. It seems like, you know, 90% put together. First thing I guess, is put the zip tie. Damaging. It's a big zip tie. 10 cents, a little overkill, but yep, the instructions are all just this one sheet. So on the front, you got 1 through 9. On the back, 10 through 18. And essentially the whole back is just actually running printer. So, you know, in terms of assembly, it's really just attaching the tower and the wires. Can't get too much simpler than that. My zip tie is cut. It looks like the tower here it's got a metal beam at the bottom, so it can't quite go straight over the base. The base kind of has to, in a sense, go through the tower here. I can maneuver things without my tugging on my cable too much. And it feels actually, it's a little bit heavier than I was expecting. I think that's probably a good sign. Okay, so the holes are back here. I wish I could raise this up so I could put the base kind of through the tower without having to actually slide it through the whole way. And kind of slide it down inside. Because it's narrower down here at the bottom than it is kind of up midway, so I could assemble without really sliding it, but it's not a big deal. Holes are actually aligned now. Okay, so there are, not sure if you can see any of this, but there are 2 holes that hold the tower onto the base. There's one here, and then there's one more kind of that's covered up by the motor. So you have to put in one screw from the outside and then the other one from the inside. And it says that on the instructions. Yeah. I don't think I showed it earlier, but there's a bag of hardware that came with it. And the extra part stops. It's got, looks like it's got 5 Allen keys in here. Suppose I should use these. I always save these extra keys that came with stuff, but then, you know, I I bought a couple good sets of Allen wrenches and I threw away all the extras. But might as well use them. They're here. So it looks like this little hardware kit's got 5 Allen keys, 2 zip ties, 6 of these little rubber, I don't know what you call it. It's like a rubber sleeve thing. 6 little hex screws that I'm assuming we're using to put the base on. And 1 piece of, I think that's a Teflon tube for the extruder. Like the filament goes through this into the extruder. So this is taking me like half an hour to not even put in 1 screw yet. Well, I'm going to use my Allen keys because they got the ball joint. This is a little tight. Except, you know what the problem with my tools is I never know where they are. They're not where they're supposed to be. I was doing stuff outside, so they're... I'm just putting these in kind of loosely. I'll tighten them up. Downside of having the ball end on the Allen key is that like the screw can spin around a lot more. On the screws. One more hand, I need to like push the frame together so the whole matches up while also holding the screw and turning it. Cool. There we go. Took a long time for that thread. Poke. Are you ready? Yeah, I mean, I can do your oil. I can get you new brakes and do your oil change and all that. Unless you've already done that. I see. Okay. Well, I will come pick you up then. Okay, bye. Okay, so now I'm just screwing in the second pair of screws on the inside here, and this hopefully won't take maybe 10 minutes to get it threaded. There we have it. The base is in. It seems pretty sturdy. Although one of the first upgrades that I've seen recommended is, well, apart from the MOSFET, it's adding extra supports, basically with a threaded rod, which I do have. Basically, you print some 3D parts and you run your threaded rod from the top of the tower down to the base here. And that's just to make this, you know, a little less, more rigid, reduce the play. Seems to make the layer alignment a lot better. I think typically in 3D printing, I mean, you want things to be kind of as stiff as possible because, you know, this thing's bouncing and moving around as it's printing, and if it's vibrating, I mean, you're gonna have some problems. Anyway, I gotta go actually pick up my girlfriend. I'll be back to finish this. Anyway, thanks for watching today. See ya.